Sometimes success requires perfection. But what does it mean to be perfect? The difficulty of Trackmania's thousands of community-made maps is often defined by how fast the mapper can drive the track. Those author medals can be easy, or if the mapper hunts the track before releasing it to the public, those times can be nearly impossible. Perfection on these tracks is defined by the fractions of a second separating good players from the elite few who are skilled enough to capture the most difficult medals. This is what made the SBVille Campaign so special, and it set the stage for my battle on Villa's map number 12. Of all the player-made campaigns in Trackmania, SBVille's campaign was unique. His maps were all meticulously built, with route difficulties that progressed steadily across the 5 traditional levels, white as the most simple and easiest to learn, progressing in complexity and difficulty 5 maps at a time. The campaign also included a variety of styles, with each map as thoroughly planned and calculated as the last, like the short but precise dirt maps, flowing and elegant grass maps, or the more unique creations like the water track in Map 8, or the high-speed turns and upside-down finish of Map 11. This, for me, was the perfect challenge, and it forced me to understand difficult drifts and jumps that I otherwise might have simply avoided. I worked through the tracks one at a time, getting gold first before progressing to author medals. Many of the maps took me a long time, including the 5-minute endurance track on Map 25. When I finally got it, I celebrated, but I immediately looked to see what times I could improve further. You see, Villa's campaign was unique in still another way. The maps had something called challenge medals. The author times on his maps were strong, but not impossible. Achieving them required a good understanding of various driving techniques, and it seemed fair to say that getting the author medal meant you had learned the map. But challenge medals were different. These were Villa's true times, set only after a large amount of grinding and effort. Completing the author times gave me a clear understanding of how difficult these challenge medals were. The challenge times were truly impressive, usually several seconds faster than the author medals. In Trackmania, several seconds is an eternity. So for me, most challenge medals seemed completely out of reach. Really, this is where the story truly begins. Because with author medals in hand, I could turn my attention to hunting the maps in earnest. I wanted to climb as high in the campaign rankings as I could, and while it would be difficult, I hoped to get at least one challenge medal. Since ice is my best surface, I set my sights firmly on map 12. Looking at this map, the route seems fairly simple. It was designed by Villa to encourage new players to experiment with ice slides, by turning a direction then counter-steering to slide through the turn with speed. Beyond that, there wasn't much to think about. A downhill into an ice slide right, uphill to an ice slide left, straighten into a left-hand turn, into a bobsleigh turn, and straight line finish. I had gotten the author time here faster than any other map, but my time was a 34.778, a sizable 1.5 seconds away from the challenge medal of 33.3. Once I started hunting the map and the challenge medal, the reality of map 12 became extremely complex. In the start, there were 2 techniques that could be used to reduce time in the air, thus maximizing your acceleration and speed. Any run that wanted to be fast could not succeed without using one of those tricks. The first ice slide angle required incredible precision, as did the following uphill. Pressing any single key a fraction too early, too late, or for too long would ruin the run. What came next was even more difficult. The sharp ice slide on the slope of the hill was difficult to get without the car shifting gears, which would cause the car to lose traction. The slope prevented slide outs from being too punishing, but the entry angle needed for fast times was difficult to find, and it caused many slide outs or crashes while trying to correct mistakes. What's more, straightening the car out at the right time, not too early and not too late, was critical to get maximum speed. With speed even a touch too low, the rest of the map was impossibly slow. To top it off, it was extremely easy to enter the bobsleigh incorrectly, losing speed or control. or to exit too early or too late and slow down in the final stretch. The turn was designed to prevent Map 12 from having too many ice slides and overwhelming new players, while also introducing bobsleigh before the full bobsleigh track on Map 14. It worked beautifully in that regard, but required extreme precision while hunting the challenge medal. The entire map was filled with opportunities to make very small mistakes, the tiniest of imperfections that could alter the shape of an entire run. Luckily for me, I enjoyed the challenge. Ice is not the most popular surface in Trackmania, since gear management and slideouts can be mystifying and frustrating even on the best of maps. But to me, ice was a beautiful surface, with a unique set of requirements and skills that allowed for an ultra-satisfying flow that felt like a dance. Learning a map and mastering the inputs for each turn took time and required extreme precision, but doing it in spite of the difficulties meant one had accomplished something worth celebrating. Let's go! Oh. Yes! So when it came to Villa's Map 12, I felt the challenge simple yet satisfying, easy to understand but difficult to master. Each time I played, I made steady progress. My improvements were usually small, but fraction by fraction, I was getting closer to my goal. That was when I heard news from the community. The ice physics would soon be changing. On July 1st, 2023, Trackmania was set to receive a change in the physics on ice maps, and rumor was that this next change would make ice much faster as a surface. This was the second such change in only a few months. To some, it was a welcome change, hopefully bringing ice closer to how it had felt before the first physics change. But for me, it also meant something else. If I wanted to earn the challenge medal, time was running out. Technically, the medal would not go away, but I am not someone who wants a difficult challenge to be made easier. I had already spent several hours on this track and amassed hundreds of attempts. To me, getting the medal only after the update would mean I had failed. In order to earn the medal, I needed to play with the same rules Villa had when he set the time. I decided to finish my hunt live on stream, to share my do-or-die moment with anyone who wanted to watch. Time was now extremely short. It was the night before the update. Only 64 people had the challenge medal. If I wanted to join them, I only had a few hours remaining to find the run I needed. But improving my time beyond my current personal best proved to be difficult. Far inside. Come on, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I believe. That's gonna slide out. It didn't. Holy crap. 4 speed, come on. Come on! There's no way! Perfection. That's what I was chasing. It didn't matter that the world record was even faster than the challenge medal. It didn't matter that other players had achieved this medal with ease. This medal, for me, required a perfect run. It demanded that I make zero mistakes, that I execute every single input at the extreme maximum of my ability. In fact, it demanded that I surpass my own limits. To beat this challenge, I needed to be better than I was. I would be lying if I said I didn't feel any despair. For several hours that night, even after I was seemingly the only person still awake, I tried again and again. With each failed run, each mistake, each reset, I felt more and more that I was playing on borrowed time. The deadline was unavoidable. I was getting tired, and in many ways, I struggled to understand what I was doing wrong. Perfection, even when it was so close, seemed somehow impossible. And then, something happened. That's a new best time! By 3,000ths of a second. My bobsleigh entry was off by a pixel. Literally, I think a pixel. Still an improvement. I'll take it. But not enough. Before long, it happened again. I mean, it's hard to have a much cleaner end than that, I'll be honest. That's honestly crazy. I don't even know. 10 hours, 1,800 attempts, dozens of improvements, all of that, and it still wasn't enough. I had, realistically, another hour or so before it got too late in the night to continue playing. The next day, the physics would change, and the next time I opened the game, it would already be over. But somehow, I couldn't give up. This was the most I had ever hunted a map, and I was so incredibly close that I finally knew perfection was possible. So, I kept going. Finally, in the dead of night, this happened. Please. Yes! Let's go! Yes! Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. 33.205. Nearly a tenth of a second faster than my goal. Holding the 30-second spot in the world records wasn't technically perfect, but it was everything I had been hunting and more. For all intents and purposes, I had found my perfect run. It might seem odd that this medal meant so much to me, but I am rarely able to climb so high on the leaderboards to achieve medals that are this difficult. With the added pressure of having limited time, coming through at the 11th hour on map 12 has become one of my most memorable moments in Trackmania. It may only be significant to me, but sometimes that's all that matters. After the update, I kept playing Villa's campaign for a good while. I hunted maps 5 and 6 until I was top 100, improving my time on several other maps as well. But I realized many maps had been affected by the update. Anywhere there was water or ice, my time might be faster or slower. Water was much less likely to be affected than ice, but all the same, hunting leaderboard positions on the campaign didn't seem exactly fair. I suppose I'm a bit of a traditionalist in that sense. I don't think anyone would really mind new records being set, but when it came to the challenge medals, I wanted to earn them as Villa had set them. The campaign had a beautiful balance in almost every sense, and I wanted to respect that. I was still grateful for the many hours of enjoyment and learning the campaign had given me, and I decided to leave it at that. Oh, huge! Wow! As Trackmania moves forward into 2024, There are many new updates that have arrived, with even more to be implemented in the near future. Much to my disappointment, the ice update on July 1st caused me to lose my love of ice. That is partly why it took me so long to tell this story. After the update, I wasn't sure what to say. Having to learn a surface for a third time, only to find it even harder to understand than it was before, made me drift away from the ice maps I had once enjoyed. But looking back, I'm still proud of what I accomplished. There are still good maps throughout Trackmania, and I have hope that the community can continue to enjoy good maps like Villas regardless. As a keyboard player, I am a bit nervous about how much fun I will have with new cars and physics that benefit from smooth steering if I want to climb leaderboards and achieve difficult medals. But as someone who enjoys a challenge, you can be sure that I won't be giving up anytime soon. Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like and consider subscribing. Stay safe out there, and I will see you next time.